handbags I didn't buy and why. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Celeste. We talk about all things luxury shopping and handbags. If you love those things, make sure to subscribe, hit that bell notification. I do post videos every week. So I have 5 designer handbags that were on my wish list or even like this close to purchasing. And here's why I didn't buy them. Honestly, if I did buy them, I don't know if some of these would still be in my collection today because I have gone through a big purge of things that I bought like early 2020, maybe even 2019, 2020, like that time frame that like I ended up selling and are no longer in my collection. So who's to really say if these bags that I would have gotten would still be in my collection today? But let's just jump right into it. Okay, so the first one is actually the most recent. This is the Gucci Jackie with the crystals and the lizard. This currently retails in the US for I believe $6,000 or $6,500. And I actually saw it at the Rome airport. It was duty free for €39.90 or something like that. So it was a huge discount on the bag. If you watch my Europe vlog and like the haul and everything, I actually didn't come back with a bag. And I think going into it, I just picked up the Bottega Mini Wallace like right before the trip. We also have to pay for the wedding and like all the things. So it wasn't like I didn't have my heart set on a specific bag, which is why I didn't come back with a bag. And I was like, you know what? But I am like open to it. If something catches my eye, I'm open to it. And I saw this bag, fell in love with it, and it was the perfect deal. I mean, otherwise, if you were to get it in the city center, it would be like, I think 12% VAT refund or whatever. I wouldn't get the full 22% VAT refund. So I was like, okay, this is meant to be. This is a beautiful bag, da 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 da. And then I look closely, and it's missing a crystal. A crystal has literally fallen off from this bag, even before it's left the store. And the sales associate was trying to reassure me, but it wasn't like the most reassuring because I was like, oh, if I like buy this now, can I take it home and like they'll repair it for free? She was like, oh, I don't know, but they might repair it. And I'm like, do we know like how long this is gonna take? Because Louis Vuitton repairs is taking like 6 to 9 months. And she's like, I don't know. And I don't fault her for not knowing because obviously it's in a different country, but it is so upsetting to spend, if you were to pay this US retail price, you're paying $6,000+ for a bag where the crystal it just so easily falls off is like, it's unacceptable. My Prada crystal bag, I've had that for almost 3 years and none of the crystals have fallen off. And I literally go like this on the bag because I like the textures of it and the crystals don't fall off. It's been perfect and I still like the bag, and I think if I were to come across this again where the crystals haven't fallen off, I would maybe pull the trigger. But it's just so upsetting that I'm spending this much money on a bag and they don't have another one. And also the crystal is just so easily falls off. And I texted my best friend immediately after I saw this bag because she got the pair of shoes. If you saw it in the haul, I did unbox her shoes. And the crystals are the same. It's the same like mesh material. It's still the crystals on it, whatever. So I texted her and I'm like, hey, be very careful with these shoes because the crystals will fall off. But on the bright side, it sounds like you can just bring them back to the Gucci store and they'll fix it for you. I just don't love the idea of buying a bag and then immediately sending it off for repair when it should have just been perfect in the first place. The next bag I almost bought and didn't is the Louis Vuitton Mini Capucine. I have had the Capucine on my wish list for a couple of years now. If you've been following me for a while, you know that this bag has been on my wish list and you're like, okay, like when are you gonna pull the trigger? And I am so glad I waited because originally I actually wanted the Capucine in the BB size. I always wanted it in the smallest size possible. So the BB originally was the first, was the smallest size, and then the mini became the smallest size. However, the original mini comes with kind of a thicker, chunkier strap. It is still a leather strap and it's not like that guitar strap that Louis Vuitton's been pushing, but it is like a thicker strap and it's not adjustable. So I didn't love the way that that strap like sat on me. It was a little bit too long. I prefer my crossbodies a little bit higher. And I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna keep waiting. I'm gonna keep waiting. I'm gonna keep waiting. And because certain editions have an adjustable thinner strap, or they even have a chain strap. So you kind of have to wait for the right like version of the Capucine. And then in March, I recently discovered they had released an even smaller size to the mini, which is the nano. And I am obsessed with this size. I know that this is not gonna fit much. It's already hard to get your things in and out of, but I feel like the Capucine is just such a statement bag. You're not using it for like functionality. And I love the strap on the nano over the mini. Some of the nano ones that I have tried on, they're like a chain strap and it sits at the perfect length that I want it to sit at. And the only drawback with all of them is that the nano doesn't come in a lot of calfskin versions. However, they do have a black one that they recently released in the calfskin version. They did have a lot of ostrich and exotic in the nano size, but I didn't love the ostrich texture for it, and so I was kind of eyeing the black one for the nano, except hypothetically, if I am going to get my first Birkin, and that's going to be black because we're getting it resale, we can pick and choose the color, whatever, I don't know that I want to immediately add another black bag to my collection right now. So I'm kind of just waiting. We're waiting to see what colors they come out in, and I'm kind of glad that I'm waiting because I feel like if I had pulled the trigger a couple years ago and got the BB size, I definitely would have regretted it once they came out with the mini. Once I found out they came out with the nano, I might regret that. So I'm glad that I'm waiting to see what sizes and variations that they're coming out in. Not to mention the Capucine just has really bad resale value, so hypothetically if I stumbled across one online on the resale market, I could probably get it for a pretty good deal. Sticking with Louis Vuitton, the next bag I'm so glad I didn't get, and I'm like 80% sure if I did get this bag back in 2018, 2019 when I wanted it, I don't think this bag would be in my collection today. This is the Louis Vuitton Crystal. I started eyeing this bag around the time that I got my Louis Vuitton Montaigne BB, which is also no longer in my collection. I don't even think it's in Louis Vuitton's collection anymore. But I got the Neverfull first, and that was like my first like big girl purchase, my work bag, you know, whatever. And then I was like, okay, now that I have the work bag, I want something smaller. I want something for every day. And I thought that would be perfect. I tried it on. It was just too long. It does not come with an adjustable strap, and I am 4'11", so I need the adjustable strap. And in theory, I could have purchased an additional strap, and it was like removable, so I could have like, you know, done that, but that would have been like $200 to get the strap from Louis Vuitton and like all of the things. So at the time, it wasn't something that I really wanted to get, like bad enough to make it work. To this day, I do not own a Damier Ebene piece, and I think another thing about that bag that I didn't love is that if the bag is not completely full and you're trying to close it, it's a little bit finicky to stick it in to the mechanism to close the bag to make sure it's completely shut. That was kind of the one thing I didn't love about the bag, and I think knowing what I carry now, which is a card holder, a lip gloss, maybe my car keys, and my sunglasses are already on, so I just like know that that bag wouldn't have been very full, and I think I would have had some trouble like closing it. And I think in general my style has just kind of changed. I haven't really reached for my canvas bags recently. A lot of the bags that I am carrying, they're either low-key or they're kind of like more brighter fun colors, so I just don't think that I would have reached for that bag in the most recent years, and I think it would have been sold for my collection. Similarly, the next bag I almost bought and did not buy is the Gucci Marmont mini camera style bag. They've been pushing so many different variations of the Gucci Marmont. Even now, and respectfully Gucci, we gotta find something else. We gotta find something new to grab onto because the Marmont is just like not it anymore. It's kind of had its time. The Gucci Marmont just was a very high and then just a very quick downfall. And I loved the color of this bag, except again, it just did not work for me. It was a non-adjustable, non-removable strap. It was leather, but then it had like little chain things on the side. And at the time, the bag was also only around $1,100 or like $1,000 or something like that. And I think I struggled a lot earlier in starting my collection with, do I really like something or do I only like it because it's affordable for the brand? And I think at the time, a lot of the pieces that I was trying to get is to get something rather than nothing at all, if that makes sense. So I don't know if it was something that I really liked or if I liked it because of the hype, or I liked it because it was $1,000 from Gucci. And I'm so glad that I didn't get that bag. I think I would have struggled a lot to try to make that bag work for me because it was just too long on me. I do like the idea of having a camera style bag. I don't really have a camera style bag in my collection, and I think it's really functional. It would have been something that I can kind of just throw around and whatever. I just know that I would not have used that, and I think that bag would have been gone by now. The last bag, I am so glad I didn't buy. Every so often I kind of like look at it and I'm like, wait, you're still kind of cute. But I'm so glad I didn't get this because this is the YSL Hobo bag. I don't know how to pronounce it. I know it's in French and I'm not gonna butcher it. I don't need to get dragged again. This is the shoulder bag. I originally wanted this bag so badly. I thought this was so cute. All the influencers had it. It was just so chic and very clean and very minimal, and I love the smooth leather, and I tried it on. Still a beautiful, beautiful bag. I think also at the time when this bag was first released, it was like $1,600. So like, again, with the, I don't know if I liked it because it was cheap or because I actually liked it, maybe a little bit of both. But this was beautiful bag, stunning bag. I love the very simple and clean design of this. Except when you actually look at this in terms of its like functionality, this bag doesn't have a zipper. So it's really just like a big black hole, and you have this small leather loop that loops over the bag, and you have to stick the L through the little loop of the bag to close the bag. So anyone who can just stick their hand on either side of your bag to grab your stuff, or even if it's not as serious pickpocketers, you topple your bag over, your stuff is falling out because there's no zipper, there's no clear closure with the bag. I think that is probably one of my biggest pet peeves. I think that in addition with the bag just not staying on my shoulder. I don't know if it's me, but the Celine Triomphe, I was debating between the Celine Triomphe and the YSL shoulder bag, and I went with the Celine because the YSL just didn't stay on my shoulder. I don't know if other people have this issue as well, because other people don't really talk about this, but when I tried this bag on, it just didn't stay on my shoulder, and having to like constantly just keep it over my shoulder or like keep my hand on the bag is just like really frustrating for me. So that was the biggest reason why I chose not to get it. I really think if I had gotten that bag and I didn't get the Celine, that bag might still be in my collection today because I do love a good shoulder bag. But I think if I bought that and the Celine Triomphe, the YSL would definitely no longer have a place and I would end up selling it. Okay, so that sums it up for this video. I hope you guys liked it. Let me know in the comments if there's any bags that you almost bought and did not buy and why. I'm always so curious to hear like what your guys' thoughts are on different styles and things, because there's a lot of things that you guys are thinking about that like maybe other people aren't talking about or I'm not thinking about. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll leave another video for you guys here and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!